It's when a portion of your stomach bulges up into the opening of the diaphragm. And that can cause some issues with the stomach acid getting up into the esophagus. When you digest your food, the food goes in the mouth and then it goes in a long, narrow tube, which we call the esophagus. And then there's a muscle at the end of that tube, and it slowly allows food to go into the stomach. Well, if that muscle gets weak, or if you have issues with a hiatal hernia, sometimes that acid from the stomach can get up into the esophagus. Now you have a thin mucosal lining within the esophagus. You have a thin lining, but you have a thick lining in the stomach. So acid in that thick lining, you're okay. But when it gets up into the esophagus, where you don't have that thick lining, that's when you experience that heartburn. And if you've ever experienced indigestion, you know that's not a comfortable feeling. So now let's get into the dietary recommendations, because it's a lot. And what I would want you to do, because I'm covering a lot of food, is slowly, gradually start eliminating or avoiding some of these foods so that you can get the relief that I would want you to have and not experience that discomfort. Now, a lot of people suffer from hiatal hernia, and many people don't have symptoms. But if you are someone who does have symptoms, let's look at some of these dietary foods to avoid. Citrus, and that's your lemon, lime, grapefruit. That's even when you buy a fruit in a jar or in a can, look to see if it has citric acid in it, because that could be a problem for you as well. Tomatoes, tomato paste, tomato juice, sauce, salsa, anything that's acid, that could be a problem for you. Garlic, onions, now that's difficult. Spicy food. I just had a relative over to my house, and I season my food, but this particular relative, they were pouring on the cayenne pepper like that. They really, really like their food spicy. Peppermint, spearmint, chili, carbonated beverages. This may be very difficult because a lot of us, these are common foods and beverages that we consume on a daily basis. But don't get discouraged. Like I said, slowly, gradually start eliminating some of these foods from your diet. Dairy products, foods that are high in fat, no fried foods. For dairy, whole milk, ice cream, yogurt made with whole milk. Those foods would be eliminated. Now, foods that you can have. You can have bananas, you can have apples, and whole grain breads, pasta, cereal, green beans, carrots, broccoli, rice. For dairy, you can have skim or low-fat milk, or yogurt that's made with non-fat milk, or non-fat ice cream. You can have pretzels, graham crackers, baked potato chips, and low-fat sweets. So that means no donuts. If any of these foods that I'm mentioning that you can have, if you feel discomfort after eating those foods, then you would need to avoid those as well. The high-fat foods can trigger this acid reflux. And that's, once again, when the acid from the stomach area slips up into the esophagus, and you can have that heartburn, suffer with this disease of gastroesophageal reflux disease. And this diet that I'm recommending would be very good for you. You can have lean meats, turkey, chicken, but just because it says turkey and chicken doesn't automatically make it lean, because you can have turkey hot dogs, turkey hamburgers, but they have a lot of fat in them. So make sure you look for lean turkey hot dogs, lean or 98% fat-free turkey hamburgers. You can have tofu, buttermilk. And for fats, you can use the healthy fats, avocado, coconut, olive oil. So here are some tips to help relieve the symptoms if you suffer with hiatal hernia. For one, you want to eat small meals. So that means you can't pig out at the country buffet or all of these other smorgasbord types of eateries, but small meals, small frequent meals. So you may have to break up your meals into 4 small meals or maybe 6 small meals, space them out apart throughout the day. Avoid lying down after you've eaten a meal. Wait 3 or 4 hours before lying down, and not drinking at night. Because you may have a tendency, and sometimes we do, we wake up, we go to the bathroom, we open up the refrigerator, and we might get a sip of something, and then we go back to bed and stop smoking. Smoking can lower the esophageal muscle, making it weak. So if it's weak and it's not tight and firm, then some of the content in the stomach, like acid, can slip up into that esophagus. And we recommend maintaining a healthy body weight. We also recommend not wearing tight clothes, and that's control top stockings or hosiery, and body shapers, girdle, tight belts. We want that abdomen to have plenty of room to breathe and just let it all hang out. Now, in some cases, you may need medication. Always seek the consultation of your medical practitioner. And in some cases, you may have to get surgery. I know a long time ago, one of my former co-workers suffered terribly with her hiatal hernia. And eventually, she just couldn't deal with it anymore, and she finally had to get the surgery. Well, keep watching for more information on diet and health. We usually post what I call the after party on Thursdays, sometimes on a Monday. And on Wednesdays, we post that cooking show. Well, I'm Daz, I'm out, but I look forward to seeing you next show.